So on my property, I only have 3 of these desert holly that have flowered. And all those flowers are going to turn into these little tiny blueberries. But look at this juniper tree. Out of all the juniper trees on my property, this one has the thickest amount of berries. And some of them are already starting to turn blue. They're really thick, but I can't emphasize to you just how heavy all these branches are now. They're hanging so much lower than they did before. But just look at how much is on this tree. I mean, if you were trying to harvest juniper berries, you couldn't ask for a tree having more on it than this. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. I mean, every single branch from top to bottom is just completely loaded down. I mean, look at this branch here. Look how low this thing hangs now. You know, those were way up here, and look at them now. They're all hanging super low. This is amazing. I honestly, all the time I've been in the Southwest, I have never seen the trees this loaded like they are this season. It's amazing. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look how many berries there are on there. That is, it's unbelievable. It's what it is. The whole thing, all the way around, the whole tree, all the way down, top to bottom. Even the lowest branches are just loaded. I mean, look at this. These are the branches on the very inside of the tree in the shade. Look at that. But look, when you look from even here far away, you can see the blue tinge to the whole tree now because of the berries. Berries are starting to turn just a little bit. It's amazing. Look at the growth. Look at the growth this year on my pine tree. Look how many pine cones we're gonna have. I mean, those little ones there are from last year, but you can see the new ones coming out. These trees are gonna be loaded. The amount of new needles and new growth is just phenomenal. I mean, look at that. Look at all that new growth. It's amazing. So I have a bag of used potting soil here that I got for free, and I brought over some of my finished compost. Look at this gorgeous stuff. That's my finished compost. This is the stuff that took me close to 3 months to make. This is the finished pile. Turned out excellent. I mean, this stuff is just well broken down. Look at that. It's basically dirt. I mean, it's awesome. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this old spare tire from the Navigator, and I'm going to mix that compost with that potting soil, and I'm going to fill up this tire with soil, and I'm going to plant a bunch of potatoes in it. Why not? And this is the rest of my seed potatoes. You can see they are prime and ready to go. So I'm going to plant red potatoes in this one. So I also have potatoes planted in these 6 containers. I got 3 of these grow bags for free from where I got the free potting soil. So this is the mixture of that free potting soil mixed with my compost. So I've got potatoes planted in each one of these. Okay, so here's the result so far from my tire potatoes. So far, all of them haven't come up yet. It's been about a week, maybe a week and a half. I don't know. I didn't copy the date down. These ones are just coming up. And this one is purple potatoes. This one's also purple. And this one is also a purple potato. And I think this is a Yukon Gold. I think this one is as well. I'm not sure. It's either red or gold. So I had a bunch of free material. A bunch of free material that I got from one of our neighbors. And it ended up having some broken up dog bed in it. And Aja dealt with the same thing, and she actually sifted all of this debris out of the material before she made compost out of it. So I came up with an idea that's kind of the lazy man's approach, and it's going to work really well. I just had my friends help me put this together, and we just tied it together with some Romex. It's just 3 pallets tied together. I dumped all 5 bags of that material in here, watered it down real good, and I planted my potatoes in it. There's probably 12 potatoes planted in this at various levels. So the potatoes will not care about this stuff being in there. The potatoes will not care about the fact that the straw is only half broken down or a quarter of the way broken down, or it won't even care if it gets completely broken down. I think this is going to work really good. I may be wrong, you know what I mean? It may compost out, you know, I really don't know. I'm just gonna let it go and I'm gonna see. My goal is to grow the potatoes in this, and then at the end of the season when the potatoes are done, I'm gonna untie it, fold the sides down, and spread it all out and take the potatoes out of there. And then I'll just let this material continue to break down, and it should be very easy when it's finished breaking down to rake out all of this bedding. I should be able to rake it out of this material in like 5 minutes when it's all broken down. That sounds way better to me than spending hours and hours trying to pick all these pieces out. Sometimes the lazy, easy way is the best way to go, in my opinion. So there it is. Yeah, I'm just going to call this the Pallet Potato Tower. We'll see what happens. Look at this beautiful thing. I just started literally this 3 weeks ago. This wasn't even there, but I've been watering it. It's coming along really nice. I can't believe how many flowers are on that thing. They seem to only open up really in the morning when it's cool out. I bet you this thing would prefer being in the shade. I made the first bed, and I cannot believe how much compost it used. I think I actually, believe it or not, I think I underestimated how much compost I was going to need for this season. I'm just going to keep making it as fast as I can, but yeah, I used up a pretty dang good chunk right here, and then I also gave some away, but I like to give stuff away. So yeah, I'm going to plant this out. It's got about, I don't know, it's got about 6, maybe 8 inches in the middle of straw. So I have not watered this since yesterday morning. And look at that, the last 2 inches of the straw is soaking wet. And the giant pile of compost underneath, which is about 10 inches, almost a foot thick, is still soaking wet. So this is the whole idea, is this is going to hold the moisture in. So yeah, look at that. Awesome.